Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Fire Brigade of Flames, chapter 158. It's been a few weeks since our last video. I don't know what happened there on the scan later side. I've been a little busy, so that's why this video is 3 days after the chapter came out. But anyway, when we last left our heroes, Hajiki died. Got his head chopped off by, Orochi. And so Tamaki stepped up to the plate, and she didn't do too hot. But thanks to her flame resistance, she survived for a good while. She's still alive. She's just really beat up. And then Juggernaut came in, and he's about to go toe-to-toe with Orochi in a self-titled chapter, Juggernaut. So yeah, while conflict against the Fire Force happens across the Nether, Hajiki is murdered by Orochi of the Knights of the Purple Smoke. Strong, big, and resistant. Destroy with your persistent desire. And our cover picture is a drawing of a super bulky guy with Juggernaut listed across his this area. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can. This area. Sorry, my Siri went off. Anyway, where was I? And yeah, anyway, moving right along into the chapter 158, Juggernaut. And we open right where we left off with Juggernaut and Orochi fighting. Grah! And he's shooting his, like, flame machine guns at her. And she's jumping out of the way. Medusa whip. And she, like, flings her whip at him. And, no, she spins it into, like, a pinwheel, deflecting all of the bullets. She managed to defend against a barrage of attacks. What you're seeing is the power from the rotation, generated by the heads of my Medusa whip. And she sends the whip over at Juggernaut, and it slices the machine gun in half. In defensive mode, my whip is like a mirror barrier. In the offense, she's just as violent. Beware the Medusa whip. And Juggernaut just, like, stares. Your technique of firing consistently is easy for me. And his hands come right back out of his torn sleeves. Let's see about that. Human to surface rocket, and he gets his, like, finger ready for a flick, and he flicks a rocket of, like, flame at her, and she's readies her mirror barrier, and we see it blow up, and it goes, like, around her. Yeah, she's completely unscathed. The land around her is, like, completely devastated, but behind her is perfectly safe. That got blocked too? Those who live above ground are weak. This is the Nether. And she runs at him and flings the whips again. I wonder, what's inside that body of yours? You're resistant to fire. First that female, and now this empty man. And she just, like, put holes all through his coat. Of course Juggernaut's fine somehow, because Juggernaut is really weird. I'm facing a lot of people who aren't my type today. And Juggernaut, like, winces in pain. It seems like I finally hit you. And Tamaki opens her eyes. Jugger. She's strong. Juggernaut! Kotatsu-san. Everything's fine. I will not lose no matter what. I will avenge Hajiki-senpai. I can't be a coward forever. We flash back to Juggernaut's youth on New Qingdao. His mom walks up as he's doing something. I don't know what he's doing. Takaru, what are you doing here? Mother, I don't want to go to the army. Let me take care of the potatoes. There's no other way. You're a third gen, remember? It's dangerous for you if you don't go to the Fire Force in Tokyo. And if you stay, it's dangerous for the potato plantations you love so dearly. Okay. And then we flash back further on in his time in the 2nd Brigade, as Hajiki, like, punches him in the stomach. Hey. Ouch! You're a man. Don't be such a coward. Hajiki-senpai, I can't. This way you won't be able to protect people when it gets dangerous. But I was forced to come here. I didn't become a fire soldier because I wanted to. Being a fire soldier is a job for those who are brave, and I know that isn't the type of work for me. Is that so? You're the only one who'll know the answer. Are you sure? And Hajiki just, like, thinks to himself. And he flashes back to his mom. I'll be so proud of you. You're a big guy, yet only have a small amount of courage. I hope you can find a flame that's as big as you. I just want the comfort of the potato plantations. Don't say such foolish things. The plantation is enormous. You think this is a place a small man could work in? But he's not small. That's his whole thing. Unless, is he? How small is he? I'm the huge fire soldier, and he has like a fire missile attached to his right arm as it like looms over Orochi. He like brings it down on her, and she moves to grab her whip, and she blows his arm away. There's no point in resisting. And we see she draws the whip back, and we see the right arm is gone. He's got a hole on like the left lower side of his chest, and we see drops of blood. I can't tell if that's his or Hajiki's old blood. But we see his face is cut though. But that wouldn't fall on the ground, given where his head is. And then Juggernaut! Well, I think that my whip now knows where your body really is. And he steps forward. I will be a man! And his arm comes right back out. I will be courageous! Why does it matter when you can't even touch me? And she whips the whip again. And she cuts off the glove, and another glove comes right back out. She's just destroying his what appears to be his body. With Juggernaut, it's always hard to tell, of course. He keeps popping right back out. I'm going to tear you into pieces. And she hits him in the head with the whip. And he gets another like flame rocket in his hand, a much smaller hand that might be his real one. But it's torn off. With the thing still inside, with the rocket thing still in his hand. It looks like the rocket thing lets go. She cuts off his leg, another leg pops out. And he's like right up to her with a creepy ass look in his eyes. What's his problem? He won't stop! And she's aiming right for the center of his body. And we see his real... we see his glove gets torn off again, and we see his real hand for the first time. He's like skin and bones. Barely like holding on to the giant rocket. And he still is looming over her, about to send like the rocket right up in her face. And she looks up in like shock. She flings the whip again. We see a spatter of blood. Did she take his arm off? Oh, fuck. I think she might have. Because we see his hand is now disconnected from his arm. The rocket hits Orochi, finally. She is not doing okay. And the rocket's just there, and explodes all over her. Huge destruction. The young man overcame his fear and pain and became a real man. Will this be the victory needed to take control from this tumultuous battlefield? To be continued in chapter 159, Enemy en route. Alright, that was awesome. Holy shit, Takaru. That was awesome. God, that was so good. Just seeing Takaru just go at it, losing so much of his outer barrier until finally you just see that, like, scrawny little arm. Like, it's so small. Like, it's, like, half the size of my arm. My arm is not particularly fat. Wow. And I think Takaru got his arm chopped off right there. It's what it looks like to me. Wow. Wow, Takaru. Holy fuck. Alright. Yeah, just a big wow is my reaction to this chapter. It was incredible. I expressed some doubts, last chapter due to both Takaru and Tamaki being kind of joke characters, and their gags, in Tamaki's case, just removes the tension from any scene, and in Juggernaut's case, makes it hard to know when he's like actually injured, because he just always pops out with his limb again. You know? But here, oh shit, it fucking worked. He just lost layer after layer of his, like, barrier, or whatever you want to call it, his clothes. Clothes makes it sound less impressive than it is. Then that final moment where you see his hand, and his hand gets chopped off. I think he's handless now. I don't know how it'll affect him because he's always wearing so many layers. I don't know how much of it his hand is actually controlling. But yeah, Takaru no longer has a right hand. He sacrificed to get the final blow on Orochi. And I think Orochi's done. Especially given this panel on the bottom of page 19, I'm pretty sure Orochi is down for the count for good. If not dead, like dead as a doornail dead. She's at least out of the fight. I hope. I hope Takaru would not lose his arm for nothing. That would be... It would be a lot. It would absolutely, like, up the stakes of this arc. Hold on, what's this? So we see on page 19, the missile is, like, very clearly on her. Because we see, like, the ripples it makes in her body from, like, the weight. Like, the skin is, like, pressed together. But then on page 20... we see it's just kind of standing over nothing, it looks like. I can't tell if that's supposed to be metaphorical or if she somehow got out of the way. I can't imagine she got out of the way of that. I think she's done. I think she's done. We'll find out whenever the next chapter gets scanlated. I don't know when that will be. It's been a couple weeks since 157, so there should be at least 159, if not 160 on reserves. I don't know when that'll be out, though. So, yeah, that's... Wow, this chapter. It was so good. I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe or do whatever the fuck you want. I don't really care. And as always, people, keep kicking ass, and I'll see you in the future. Bye!